And here's another detail that most people never hear about. The eyes of these fish are just as strange as their bodies. Some of them have pupils shaped like tubular telescopes pointing upwards. Why? Because the only danger in the twilight zone comes from above. Silhouettes of sharks, squid, and other hunters loom against the faint glow of the surface. These telescopic eyes capture the shadows above, while the mirrored scales hide the body below. It's a two-part defense. See the killer and erase yourself before the killer sees you. Imagine a creature so strange that it looks like it's wrapped in liquid glass. A fish dressed in the ocean itself like an armor. At first glance, you might think it's made of polished metal, a living sculpture thrown into the sea. But it's not a car. It is a living creature, an animal made of flesh and blood, covered with one of the strangest protective shells ever created by nature, scales that shine like a mirror. Scientists call them fish with mirrored scales, although the most famous representatives are the hatchet fish and some species of deep-sea herring. However, this name hardly reflects the surreal reality. These animals are covered with guanine crystals, arranged in layers with such precision that each scale becomes a mirror reflecting light with supernatural perfection. In the twilight zones of the ocean, where predators hunt for the slightest glimmer, these mirrored scales turn fish into ghosts. You don't see the fish. You only see the reflection of the water itself. But here lies the first caveat. These scales are not static shields. They are alive, constantly adapting, refracting light at such subtle angles that even the sharpest eyes of predators cannot notice them. Imagine that you enter a hall of mirrors, where each reflection shows something different but never yourself. That's what predators face when they chase these fish. The prey fades into the background, becoming nothing more than a sea echo. And yet, despite this invisible disguise, the fish is fragile. The shiny scales hide a body as thin as paper, almost transparent. Some species, such as the hatchet fish, have a blade-shaped body designed to scatter light into the depths. Others rely on counterillumination, creating a faint glow on the underside of their bodies to hide their silhouettes from below. The ocean is a shadow theater, and these creatures are the most sophisticated illusionists in it. However, what makes them truly unusual is not only their invisibility. This is the microscopic structure of their skin. Each flake contains layers of lamellar crystals stacked with nanometer precision. The distance between these crystals corresponds to the wavelength of the light. This is a biological photonic structure, a natural nanotechnology that goes far beyond human engineering. The scientists who studied these scales realized that the fish had mastered something that humans struggle with, creating broadband mirrors that work in changing lighting conditions. Engineers can create mirrors for a single frequency of light, but these fish bend and reflect the entire spectrum, even as they twist and move. And there is also a rare detail that few people know about. These mirror-like scales are heterogeneous. At the edges of the fins, where movement can give them away, the scales change direction, scattering the light instead of reflecting it directly. It's like a fish wearing a cape that knows how it's being looked at. It is invisible to a predator from the outside. It glows from below just enough to disappear. It glitters like water from above. It's not camouflage. This is an erasure. Now imagine this. A predator lunges, opens its mouth without taking its eyes off the shimmering object. At the last moment, the flicker disappears. The predator bites the water. The fish had already disappeared, silently darting to the side. It seems like a magic trick to us. For fish, it's a matter of survival. But evolution doesn't give away miracles for free. You have to pay for mirror scales. It's heavy. It slows down the movement of the fish. The fish's body is fragile and cannot withstand fast, rough movements. That is why most mirror-scaled fish live in the mesopelagic zone, the twilight zone, at a depth of 200 to 1,000 meters. Their speed is not everything. Illusion is worth more than muscles. Some researchers have discovered fossils suggesting that mirroring strategies date back millions of years. Tiny flakes of guanine crystals preserved in the sediments indicate that ghost fish dressed in the same light armor lived in the ancient oceans. If this is true, then these creatures are not just a recent invention, but an ancient secret tradition of illusionists, masters of invisibility in a world where survival is a constant theater. It is no coincidence that when the U.S. Navy studied natural camouflage, they turned to these fish. Submarines and stealth planes are trying to mimic what these fragile animals have been perfecting for millions of years, disappearing, not hiding, but distorting perception. And yet, despite their splendor, these creatures remain little known. They are not featured as stars in any documentary. Children don't dream of fish with mirrored scales like sharks or dolphins. They are ghosts in the background who will never be recognized because their whole existence consists of not being seen. But maybe that's the lesson. Not every form of power is loud. Not every survivor is a toothy monster. Some survive by turning absence into a weapon, mastering silence, becoming a reflection of the world around them. Philosophers might say, fish with mirrored scales are proof that existence itself is interconnected. You are only what the world sees or what it doesn't see. In their silver armor, these fish blur the boundary between themselves and the environment. They are not predators, not victims, and not even individuals in the sense in which we imagine them. They are living mirrors, an eternal reminder that the ocean rewards more than just strength. Sometimes he rewards for disappearing. So next time you're imagining the depths of the ocean, don't just imagine sharks or leviathans. Think of the fragile, shimmering ghosts that disappear in the light. These are the hidden illusionists of the ocean, the fish who wear mirrors. Support this channel if you want more similar stories about hidden monsters, fragile ghosts, and the mysteries of life in the abyss. Any support you give will help keep these rare stories alive, and I will definitely tell you about the strangest and most mysterious creatures that the depths have to offer.